talking about faith is not my setting. It's not where I feel the most comfortable. And so for me, this is part of a process that I'm trying to become more familiar with because I think it's important. And just like it's hard for some people to share their coming out stories, this is sort of a coming out story for me in a different sense. And so bear with me, I hope, as we go through this, right? And the other thing is, while I was trying to think about the process for this, I tried to ask myself, what are the questions that I want to answer at the end of this? I've watched plenty of sermons, so I know how they do it, right? What's the 1, 2, 3? What are you gonna take away? So at coffee hour, got something to talk about. But and I kind of wanted to boil it down to what do I know about faith, which is a big question, but what do I know about it? And ultimately, I think we're going to take a step back from that and just and really tell you what I know about my faith. And that's all I can speak from.
Placed, quote, the truth on my door, and then said, I'm not interested in a conversation with you. I've got the truth and you don't. See you later. We cannot pretend that even if we've been out for many years, if you were raised up to say this is the way human beings should be, and you're not that, no matter how many years you've had of accepting yourself, affirming yourself, having the world affirm you, and gathering people around to affirm you for that, the moments when somebody gets up and gets on the television and says those people are not right, they can change, if they just tried hard enough and loved God hard enough, then it would be okay. Those parts, those things, they prey on sort of our vulnerabilities.
Each and every one of us comes to Scripture with our own assumptions, with our backgrounds, and those assumptions and backgrounds have a huge influence on how we read these texts. It was absolutely true for them, or they wouldn't have written it down. Is it factual? I don't know, I wasn't there.
I am an African American, bisexual, female pastor who is a community organizer.
Hi, I'm Joy, and I am a white, straight woman. I say I was Christian.
Oh.
And that John's talk this morning was really, really good for me. And because I'm one of those Christians where I'm ready to throw it all out. Once I started learning about some of the ways my Christianity has put me and others in a box.
The One Kalamazoo campaign was an effort to defend at the ballot box the non-discrimination ordinance that the City Commission passed in June of 2009. Turns out in Kalamazoo, it was, as in many places in Michigan, legal to discriminate against someone just because they're gay or transgender. And you can discriminate in employment, housing, or public accommodations. Really kind of basic things.
So I wanted to offer some emotional and spiritual processes and advice. Take it with a grain of salt. If it's not useful, throw it out. A preacher friend of mine used to say that the best thing to do is, if you see something and you just got to eat the chicken and spit out the bones, take what's useful for you, right?
It's okay to agree with me. It's okay to disagree with me. And I expect and hope that you will think for yourself. What I'm doing today is hoping to give you some tools for you to think for yourself.
Eliminating racism, claiming and celebrating equality, and erase.
Deuteronomy 22:13-21. If it is discovered that a bride is not a virgin, the Bible demands that she be executed by stoning immediately. Deuteronomy 22:22. If a married person has sex with someone else's husband or wife, the Bible commands that both adulterers be stoned to death. In Mark 10:1-12, divorce is strictly forbidden, and that's not just in Mark, that's in both Hebrew Scripture and Christian Scripture.
And a lot of people, I hope that I can continue to grow in my church community. But ultimately, I think I never want to lose sight of that moment of where I was able to sit in a room with people who are all thinking just the best thoughts And I was able to shut down all that other conversation and get back to me for a minute and have a conversation with myself and my God about the bigger picture.